Ladies and gentlemen, the mice situation in Australia did not improve. It is worse than ever. People are saying that the mice are now dying in the water supply that people drink from. They are finding all kinds of mice carcasses in the water. And you know what that leads to: disease, if they don't get that under control. So I was looking at several articles. There are people that are saying every part of their house have mice. You know, when you have millions and millions of mice, mice traps and mice poison and all that stuff is not going to do you any good. It is just not going to do any good. So people are saying when they open drawers, mice are in their drawers. They walk in their closet, mice are all over their closet. In their kitchen, of course, they're all in the cabinets. Oh, I couldn't take that. Oh, man. Oh, that's horrible. But this is what they're living with. This is really, truly a plague, for real. And these folks have now been dealing with this, y'all, for weeks to no end. And you saw the video in the beginning of this part. It is horror. Oh my, it is horrifying. I don't know if I could stand that. So this is NBC News. Worst mice plague ever seen. Millions of rodents descend on eastern Australia. Wow. You know, and I was reading, some people are saying they can hardly sleep in their houses because they all night long they can just hear these mice in their house running all around. Oh, I don't think I could be there. I would probably have to go somewhere else and find some sleep, but return back to my house to see what I can do to get rid of them. Perhaps leave some door. I don't know what you can really do, because if you try to leave a door open, wouldn't that kind of invite more of them to run in? What if they don't run out and more run in? You know, you really are between a rock and a hard place in this situation. You really are. So, after one of its worst wildfire season and a global pandemic, Australia is now facing the latest end of days challenge, a monumental plague of mice. Millions of rodents are running amok in parts of Australia's eastern states, with residents sharing horror encounters on a daily basis. With an epicenter in rural New South Wales, farmers have uploaded videos to social media of mice blanketing their land, damaging crops, and taking up residence inside homes. Mm-mm-mm. Guy Roth, who works with the sprawling University of Sydney research farm near New South Wales. Mm-mm-mm. And this is the town of Narrabri, said mice have overtaken the property. I know we had 2 mice per square meter in our cropping paddings at, that was at the peak. So if the math is right, it's 20 million mice. That's some, man, that is a hell of a breeding. Those mice did 20 million mice. That's more mice than the population of the biggest city, he said. Roth said at one point he and his family were catching and disposing around 100 mice each a day inside their house and offices. Oh my goodness. They are all around the house. Every time you open a drawer, you're potentially going to find one, he said. You'll be sitting at the desk and mice will run across it. Oh, I can't picture that. Oh, he said the mice were eating the cotton crops as well as the grain stored in silos. Well, what did they make our people do? Pick cotton. And what are the mice doing? Destroying the cotton they stored. I don't think that's a coincidence. In fact, I don't believe in coincidences, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-huh. Interesting. Eating the grain and the cotton crops. Roth said, Roth, who has spent his whole life in regional and rural Australia, said this was the worst mice plague I've ever seen. They certainly smell. Yeah, I read that too. They said with all these mice, it's a horrible smell. Ugh. Oh man, I got the chills just thinking about it. That's what my memory of this is going to be, the smell, he said, the smell of the dead mice in and around the house and the farm. While the health impact on humans has not been severe, there has been at least one report of a rare mice related illness. Oh, at least 3 people have been bitten by mice in New South Wales hospitals while they were admitted for non-mice related issues. Damn, even the hospital is over. Well, I mean, if everything else in the area is overran by mice, why not the hospital? I mean, they can get in and out of the hospital too. Trust me, you have mice can squeeze through anything. Sometimes the smallest hole you think they can't get in, they can. Remember, they got soft bones and it's easy for them to retract enough to squeeze through even the smallest hole. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. A spokesperson for the state government health department, NSW Health, said these bites were minor and the appropriate treatment has been provided. NSW Health staff are responding with appropriate control measures, the spokesperson said, listing measures including increased bait and trapping, odor repellents, and blocking access. The spokesperson added the current mice infection across Western NSW. Look like it's just getting worse. I wonder how they're going to even because they're saying this is a natural occurrence. I mean, I get all of that, but how the hell are you going to get 20 million mice the hell up on out of there? I mean, you would have to be working people day and night to just start killing them off. I mean, I wouldn't know what else to do. This is crazy. Okay. Mm. All right. So, Steve Henry conducts mice research with Australia's National Science Agency, the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization. Henry said the outbreak, which is of the non native house mouse, is monumental and continues to have severe economic and social effects. Some farmers have given up on summer crops because the mice have damaged them so severely, so that essentially a total crop loss. You know what comes to mind, y'all? The black farmers. Remember when they sold them bad seeds and they couldn't grow their crop? I believe this was like 2017. So they got total crop loss, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. I just don't think these things are a coincidence. So, all right. And in some scenarios where farmers have managed to get the crops through the harvest, they had it rejected. Ooh, their crop. Wait, what? Oh, man. Some of the farmers were able to grow their crops to harvest, but because of what's going on, their crops were rejected. They said it was rejected because their crops were loaded in mouse poo. Ooh, wee. Mm-mm-mm. Swarms of mice running around on the farm. And this is New South Wales, Australia. Now, this was the 12th of March when it first hit the news. And we're what, April 4th? Yeah, that's been quite some time. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. But he said mice plagues come every 5 to 10 years in Australia due to a combination of factors. We've had a run of dry years, and now the drought has essentially broken. So the mice get, switched on to the change in environment conditions and they start to breed. So apparently, Australia is also on top of all of this going through a drought. The farmers have had a good crop, and that plus a lot of food into the system. So we've got favorable climatic conditions, favorable food in the system, and lots of good shelter, lots of moisture. And he said the mice are prolific breeders as they can start to breed and every 6 weeks, and they could start having babies at 6 weeks old. 6 weeks old, they can start having babies. Wow. And each mice can have 6 to 10 pups every 19 to 21 days after that. So when they're born, by the time they hit 6 weeks, they can have babies. And they have 6 to 10 pups every 19 to 21 days. So the same female can get repregnated over and over and have another litter and another litter. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. But Henry said a mice plague typically ends abruptly, a population crash, although it is difficult to predict when this will occur. The winter crops, the farmers in the plague hit areas are now looking towards winter crops, in which the part of the southern hemisphere are typically sown in April and May. The industry group NSW farmers have grave concerns that some farms will lose all the planted seed to mice. Yeah, because if they're going to eat the plants, they would eat the seeds, wouldn't they? Yeah, of course they would. All right, so the farmers president, James Jackson, said there needs to be an urgent action from the state government, including emergency permission to use pesticide zinc, phosphate, and financial assistance through a small grant program. Mice control is very costly. The severity of the current plague has resulted in the need for multiple aerial and ground bait applications in crop regions. Action is needed now, he said. Ugh, man. According to the group, heavy rainfall over the recent days have curbed mice numbers in some areas, but are still rampant in the central west and northwest of New South Wales. I am hearing the rain has pushed more of them into houses and vehicles. Yeah, because they would look for shelter, the group spokesperson Michael Burt said. So it sounds like it's not that they are curbed, they have ran into more houses and places of shelter. Because, I was reading how one woman was saying she opened her car door and they were overran inside of her car. I just can't picture it. Oh, that's crazy to me. For now, Australians like Roth are left hoping the plague comes to a quick end. Everyone tolerating it, but we've really had enough, he said. I bet they have. Woo! Y'all, please tell me what you think about this madness. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.